Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us after lunch for this session today. My name is Cynthia Gallant, and I work at AWS. I lead the end-user computing segment, developing the global partnerships with technology partners, as well as consulting partners who help our customers accelerate their success with end-user computing solutions running on AWS. And my co-presenter, Andy.
Hi, my name is Andy Bhaduri, and I'm part of the Data and Analytics Partner segment at AWS. We'll talk a lot more about these things as we go along. My job is to focus on our consulting partner ecosystem the world over and help them build business with AWS data analytics services. So we are glad for you to be here, and hand it over to Cynthia, and then I'll come on stage later.
Great, thank you. How many of you in the audience are from a technology partner, an APN technology partner? And how many consulting partners by default? Good. About 50-50, which is great, because we're going to be addressing both of those opportunities for both technology partners as well as consulting partners. And I've been with AWS for 4 years, and one of the early people in the partner organization, believe it or not, back then. It was really formative even at that stage. And about 2 years ago, and when I started at AWS, I focused on very much the infrastructure type of services and solutions, both from AWS and from our partners, including migration services, DevOps, Dev tools, cloud management. And then about 2 years ago, as AWS started announcing and launching services more in the business application area, they asked me to make a changeover and to work with partners in the to develop partnerships around delivering game-changing business solutions. So if you look at some of the more recent announcements in the business application area, we have our Amazon Connect, we have Elixir for Business, we have Amazon Workspaces and AppStream, we have our data and analytics, we have AI and ML, and so you can see the portfolio growing of the business services from AWS and also from our technology partners who are bringing their solutions over, as now we are shifting to focus on more of a business solution in addition to the infrastructure. And that means that we all have to approach our customers as well as how we position those solutions to them in a little different way, which is really the goal of what we're going to talk about today. This is my third reInvent presentation. So you're going to see, I'm going to mix it up. So hopefully people won't fall asleep after lunch. And there's going to be a few surprises. We have some giveaways. So think about if you want to listen and get a giveaway. In addition, we'll have a guest speaker join us about halfway through. So as I mentioned, with this shift now to the opportunity to build and deliver game-changing business solutions, I'm going to share with you the feedback that we've gotten from customers about what they're looking for from our APM partner community that's different from how they engaged with them in the past. Then we're going to shift and talk about real-life practices that we have seen as best practices from around the globe for the partners who are adopting this approach of business solutions using some of the newer technologies from AWS. That's where I'll be joined by an APN consulting partner that's headquartered in Australia, Alaka, and I'll be joined at that point on the stage so that they can share their experiences and not only how they work differently with their customers, but what it's meant to their organization and how they had to change to take an approach to business solutions. We'll finish out the range of best practice examples. From prior feedback from reInvent sessions, we found that that's been probably one of the more valuable ways to impart the information. But of course, we want to bookend the presentation with Andy coming up and sharing with you the tools and the programs that we have available through our APN programs to assist you in taking advantage of this new emerging opportunity that we think is just at the beginning and really at a stage to really take off. So it's so great to have you join us today. And we'll get started on the content. As you walk away, the takeaways are that you'll understand the business and market opportunity, how it's different from in the past, especially been focused more on the infrastructure side of the services, and then last, the programs and the tools from AWS. This slide you've probably seen in the past in many AWS presentations. And it really talks to the fact that a lot of the drivers that drove the early cloud adoption were driven around cost and efficiency and triggers in the business that had many things to do, often on the technology side. Closing of data centers, relocation of facilities, acquisitions or divestitures. At the end of the day, customers were still looking for business agility and digital transformation as they made that change. However, as we now have these new business solutions from AWS and from our technology partners, there's really an opportunity to reimagine how customers do business in transformational projects, innovation or digital innovation projects within customer accounts. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is the feedback from customers as to how they'd like to see their relationships with APN partners change. So as I promised, we have a first prize to start off, and I'd like to ask in the audience if anyone can tell me what they think that these numbers represent on this graph. And the first name, who has it? This is the first hand I saw.
Number of partners registered for the founder.
Good idea, but no. I'm going to go over this side because I saw someone over here. How about this fellow right here?
Probably number of solutions hosted in AWS.
Sort of. And
Number of services.
thank you. So this chart actually represents the growth in the number of services and features that have been introduced over the last 10 years at AWS. And this slide, if you look at it, it can either be viewed as a challenge or an opportunity. And for our customers, they view it as an opportunity. And the feedback is, this is one of the primary reasons that they choose AWS. It's the breadth and the rate of innovation that's coming out from AWS, and this is what they want to take advantage of. But we also recognize that that can pose a challenge to our APN partners to constantly stay on top of that technology and find the opportunity to match it to the customer business solutions, especially with the newer business solutions that I mentioned earlier on. So customer expectations are changing around this. This is driving their expectations of how quickly they want to adopt technology. And they're expecting that our partner network adapts as well. Because not only is AWS innovating, but our partner network is innovating. And combined, that is a tremendous opportunity and a tremendous benefit to customers. These are the top 2 reasons often cited in the analyst reports as to why customers select AWS. The rate and the breadth of the innovation from AWS, and the rate and breadth of innovation from our partner network. We have tens of thousands of partners within the AWS partner network. And in the last 2 years, we've added 35,000 partners alone. So it's that combination that harnessed together is really why customers are selecting us. So let's look at what the change is as we're looking more at a business solution versus maybe a technology solution or an infrastructure solution for customers. And one of the things I think that takes on even more importance that many of you have seen, probably quoted from Jeff Bezos, is that if you're competitor focused, you're going to be catching up. You're going to not be innovating on behalf of your customers because you're just going to be matching what a competitor is doing. Instead, if you can be customer obsessed and really focused on the customer and work backwards from what they need and imagine things that they don't even ask for. And that's really the key in this business solutions area. And what you'll see from the examples that we're going to share with you today, the customers did not ask for the full breadth of the solution. It was as a result of their partners sitting with them, our AWS partners sitting with them and understanding the full need of what they wanted to do, that these solutions were created. And the example I think of there is when in the year 2000, I'm probably dating myself, but I was finally able to afford a luxury SUV. And this is the time they just started having GPS systems within the SUVs. And I thought to myself, it was another $3,000 and already I was kind of maxing my budget. And I said, do I really want to invest in that? I can go online and print out, the directions as I was doing back then and follow them as I read along and I drive. And that was fine until I hit a double roundabout, or as we call them in the northeast of the US, a rotary. And when you're trying to read those directions and navigate something like that, and I'm sure if any of you are from outside of the United States, you'll see triple and even 4-time roundabouts. In fact, in doing research, I found out that France is the country that has the most roundabouts, although the UK has the most in terms of the proportion to their roadways. So I didn't ask for that, but after the fact, somebody thought ahead and said, if I'm really going to improve the driver experience, I'm going to include this in this vehicle. And that's the way we need to sit with our customers and think differently. That's what customers are asking, especially with business solutions. Think beyond the stated need, work backwards from what they're trying to do, and understand the adjacencies that you can bring in to deliver the solutions. Because we're only at the beginning of innovation, it's going to continue to evolve. And having those discussions now will be really key to deepening your relationships and hopefully your profitability with those customers. So one of the things that customers have been saying to us is, make it easier for us, AWS, to locate these solutions and to consume them. So within the last year, just about in February of this year, we launched AWS Solution Space. And Solution Space is a new web property designed for customers who are looking for high demand, out-of-the-box solutions that commonly combine technology partner innovation with AWS services and consulting partner professional services. And they're brought together so that customers can easily find them, view them as a total solution, and even launch such things as quick starts if those are associated with those solutions. And in just that short period of time, we have 100 solutions from our AWS partners listed on AWS Solution Space. In addition, we've had 100,000 visitors to this site, and we've had 25,000 downloads of the solutions that had quick starts, and not every one of them has a quick start. So you can see that this is a high demand. I bring this out now, and Andy's going to talk about it at the end, so you have to stick around to the end. To learn more about it, it's going to be very important for you to understand how to leverage the AWS Solution Space as a technology partner or as a consulting partner. So not to keep everybody honest here, I said I was going to bring a guest speaker up so we can keep it lively. I'm going to introduce Ross Gangemi from Aulica, who's an APN advanced consulting partner headquartered in Australia.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Yep.
Can you hear me all okay? Yep, cool. So excited to be here today to share with you some of the learnings we've had with AWS. Firstly, I'll introduce Aulica. We're a modern systems integrator, and we focus on integrating technology to deliver innovative solutions that actually empower people and change organisations. Aulica has a long history in delivering end-user computing solutions, and early last year we had an opportunity to, I should click on that slide, an opportunity to deploy an Amazon Workspaces solution, and it was our first one. We saw the appeal from the customer perspective because Workspaces from their perspective is simple, high-performing and scalable, all of which has been difficult to achieve with traditional VDI-based solutions. We also saw an opportunity to extend and enhance Workspaces using the Workspace API. So what we did is we delivered a number of Workspaces projects, each time for a different customer, solving a different use case and addressing different business challenges. And as we did this, we found that we'd built a library of microservices. For example, adding a user to an Active Directory group and then a workspace automatically being provisioned as a result. Now, as these projects became operationalised, we wanted to give the IT administrator a better support experience. So we developed a web dashboard that gave them greater visibility into the Workspaces environment, but also gave them the ability to leverage this library of microservices that we had built for them. For example, doing things like being able to reboot a workspace or being able to upgrade a user's workspace. And this is sort of giving that capability to the service desk user, not necessarily to, a desktop support administrator. So at this point, we had event-driven automation. We'd given IT a better experience, but what we really wanted to do is we wanted to extend that library of microservices and what we had built to give end users a delightful self-service experience. So.
When technology fails us, it's frustrating and disruptive to our work, getting technical support doesn't always solve our problems. That's why we're building a workplace where people can simply ask their devices for help. Meet the SelfService Hub by Elixir, powered by Amazon. Using AI and smart software, users can have intelligent interactions with enterprise systems in real time. It uses the latest Amazon technology and seamlessly integrates with Amazon Workspaces and Alexa for business.
Alexa, I'd like to speak to the Workspaces helper.
Hello, James. How can I help you today?
An intelligent system that uses AWS Deep Lens and Amazon Recognition to verify identity in an instant.
I'm having a little trouble connecting to my workspace.
Your workspace is in a non-responsive state. Would you like me to restart it for you?
Yes, please.
From support to technical requests, users can add extra power to their Amazon Workspace when they need it.
Alexa, ask the Workspaces helper for a faster workspace.
Would you like a faster workspace with a speed boost? This will last for 30 days.
Yes, please.
Even approvals.
Okay, Anna, I've sent your request to boost your workspace. Once approved, it will apply in a few minutes and last 30 days.
Thanks.
Every part of your process can be streamlined and automated.
Unlock my account, please.
Let's create a new workspace.
With the Self-Service Hub, problems are solved quicker, with less disruption and need for support tickets, freeing up your IT resources. Elixir and Amazon Web Services have come together to create the future of end-user computing, transforming your business infrastructure through smart design, cloud integrations, and artificial intelligence.
Now, would it be an AWS reInvent session if I didn't show you a solution architecture diagram with well-architected serverless computing? You have to excuse me, my notes just died, so I'll just... Oh, okay, cool. So what we did, well, as you can see, as the solution evolved, it was easy for us to adapt and reuse components, pretty much because of this architecture. The methodology that we used here enabled us to crawl, walk, and run with this solution. And I guess that enabled us to continually improve as well. Now, here's a photo of the Elixir team. And as AWS would call us, a two-pizza team. So I guess our secret to developing innovative solutions is really about fostering a culture of teamwork and creativity, but also giving people the freedom to experiment. And one of our latest experiments, and again, it's just an experiment, is using Deep Lens to enable access to our office. So we use this for our staff, and not only just our staff, but for select visitors into Elixir, and also our customers when they visit our offices. And then we give them a code and a little bit of information about our offices. So I guess from an Elixir perspective, we see the future of end-user computing consisting of these embedded intelligent systems enhancing our everyday work life. Thank you for your time. Cynthia?
So I had the good fortune of engaging with Elixir when they just started on that right-hand side of the architecture slide. And when they were telling me about the solution and sharing with me as the global segment lead, I was really excited about the opportunity. And every new idea I brought up about, hey, could we use Deep Lens? Can we use Amazon Lex? And this team would come back. We set a cadence meeting of every 2 weeks, and they would have a new prototype. And then they started introducing it into their customer solutions, and it was a tremendous, really, environment to see take shape. So in addition to delighting customers with this and really differentiating themselves in the market, one of the things I learned in talking with the management team is it really energized their technology staff within the organization. And we're all looking for the best-of-breed technology staff, and allowing them to experiment, take advantage of that innovation from AWS and from our technology partners to build these new solutions is really important, both for our customers and for our own business. So I want to share with you one other example that I'll take you through myself of a consulting partner who developed some custom work around integrated voice response that integrated with Amazon Connect. And the company is called Simbi, and the IP that they developed is called Simbi Connect, working with Amazon Connect. The customer is Direct Interactions. And this is a company that was an innovator, really starting off offering outsourced call center services. And they support many of the major city municipal parking lots and processing the transactions for them. And as you can imagine from a call center standpoint and requests for parking, you can imagine the volume, very high, very spiky, and need to be 24/7 for these parking lots and parking garages that they were managing. They had a prior solution that was having reliability and availability issues, something that was just unacceptable. And that's what spurred them to first contact AWS and Simbi. However, after we resolved many of those issues around reliability and scalability and availability and security with Amazon Connect, with the latest technology for the call center, Simbi took it upon themselves to sit with the customer and look at Direct Interactions, how they could reimagine their business. And they added some features that I'm going to share with you in a moment. But as a result of adding their business, adding those business value additions to what came automatically with Amazon Connect, the CEO of Direct Interactions said, not only did we increase our stability of our platform, we innovated and we helped improve the customer engagement and our loyalty, and we could really now go after new business opportunities that we couldn't think of doing previously. That is game-changing, reimagining the way that you do business and provide business solutions. And what Simbi Connect provided is those interactive voice response capabilities that augmented what came with Amazon Connect. They have call recording and pausing so that they could meet the requirement of when a customer credit card information was shared in the call center, that was not captured on the recording. They also allowed new kind of web and SMS chat capabilities with the dispatchers in the parking facilities and with mobile device users who wanted to be contacted on a mobile device versus a call center. So they were really changing the customer engagement model and really improving the overall experience for the customer, giving them multiple ways to engage with them. So when you look at what they say that they selected with Amazon Connect and with Simbi Connect, it's the omni-channel engagement solution. They don't call it a call center solution, it's their omni-channel engagement solution. So that's an example with Amazon Connect and with one of our consulting partners, and I'm going to turn it over to Andy to look at some additional solutions in the data and analytics area.
Thank you, Cynthia. So continuing on this theme of solutions, let's look at data analytics. Today, AWS's data analytics, AI, machine learning portfolio includes over 27 services. You're aware of many of them. And we keep on adding to that roster. You saw the huge hockey curve stick, so we keep on adding to that roster. One of our most popular of solutions that we have taken to market is a data lake. Here is one more well-architected framework from AWS. The Data Lake Foundation on AWS integrates with a variety of AWS services to provide a fully functional data lake with data ingestion, aggregation, and analytics capabilities. Now you must be wondering, you saw two examples where we actually showed our partners building out some nice, cool innovation, and we are straight away here into an architecture diagram. It's simply because this has proven to be so popular across the world that a large number of partners now are building data lake solutions. So this almost is becoming like the starting point of when a partner is looking at starting their solution journey. It's actually, interestingly, we'll talk about Solution Space in detail later on, but Data Lake Foundation on AWS is one of the most popular Solution Space downloads today. So again, that gives you a sense of how well it's getting adopted. The ability to ingest data from structured, semi-structured, and unstructured sources and store them in a single location enables a large number of downstream use cases. So you can use Amazon QuickSight for business analysts to visualize the data in that form. Or you can use Amazon SageMaker to build and deploy predictions at the edge. And then obviously in the architecture, there are a number of other services that you can use. And you can expand data lake architecture to multiple scenarios in terms of industries, in terms of particular use cases, in terms of particular kinds of data that's coming in, and so on and so forth. Other solution that I wanted to focus on, and we talked about Elixir for Business a little while. Everybody knows Elixir. I think a lot of us have some device at home or not, and we keep talking about Elixir. So it's proving to be very popular. So there's one more example for Elixir for Business. This is innovation from one of our consulting partners again, Valence Group. And they created Elixir, a Valence bot. The use case is very interesting. We are all part of some organization or the other. And as part of being in an organization, we have sometime or the other in our lives have had questions about organization, policies or information or even the location and the date for the next picnic. And we kind of sometimes ask our coworkers. They have answers, and many times they don't. So this is a use case which again goes back to the power of bringing together multiple components together and building solutions. So this is a use case which again goes back and collects data from multiple systems in the organization and intelligently brings it forward at the point of interaction. So let's look at Valence bot.
Hey everyone. My name is Matt Wright. I'm the Director of Innovation with Valence, and this is Alexa for Businesses. This is my skill program. Today I'd like to show you a skill we developed called Valence Bot. It's a chatbot that handles company requests and answers employee questions. One challenge employees face is finding internal company information. One of the things I struggle with is remembering how many PTO days I have. So I find that I'm digging through emails, I'm going to the internet trying to search out the employee handbook. Or sometimes I just want to know more about our sales pipeline, or I might just want to know who's been hired recently. So these are just some of the reasons we built Valence Bot and why we give every employee an Echo Dot. It allows them to access internal company information from anywhere they have an Alexa device. So how does it work? Well, the foundation of the Valence Bot is a simple Q&A engine. It stemmed from an article I read in the Amazon Machine Learning blog last year, and we've taken that idea and we've integrated some Lambda hook functionality, which allows us to integrate with just about anything. A couple examples is we can now integrate with our HubSpot sales database, or we can tie into ServiceNow to submit IT service requests and facilities requests. So once we built it, we bundled the whole thing into an Alexa private skill, and we deployed it to our employees using Alexa for Business, and now our employees are free to install it on any of their personal Alexa devices. So let me show you how Valence Bot works. Alexa, ask Valence Bot where I can find employee information.
You can find all the essential employee information in the Employee Handbook, located in the Human Resources folder at Bots. If you have any further questions after reading it, please contact Human Resources.
Alexa, ask Valence Bot about the next company event.
The next company event is a happy hour on Tuesday, September 25th from 4 to 7 at Spin in Seattle. It should be a great time with food, drinks, and ping pong. Come meet some of the newest members of the Valence team.
And that's Valence Bot.
I promise this is the last architecture slide in this presentation. So as you heard, Matt, the Valence Bot leverages Amazon Lex, the core chat engine, and integrates with Alexa for Business, Elasticsearch, and Lambda functions to create a solution which seamlessly translates voice commands into instructions, to engage with other systems like ServiceNow, JobVite, and a whole bunch there. By these examples, you would have realized by now that none of these solutions are possible with a single service from AWS or from any of our technology partners. And that is the essence that we are trying to bring today, that the pace of innovation that we have, which is building out these new services at such a relentless pace, allows you to now start putting all of these together into use cases that were not possible before, when you just thought about it as a single or even two service solutions and so on. So that is the essence that we are trying to convey through these examples. Hopefully you got some of these. The key thing now is to try and figure out what you can do. So if you're saying, okay, I think I know, I understand the value, I want to go forward in this space, I want to do some stuff, maybe next reInvent, I want my solution to be showcased here and so on. So we have got a number of tools and programs that we would like to, I'd like to talk about, that you can start using and leveraging to start on your journey. Or if you already started on your journey, then maybe to accelerate that journey. So let's talk about the solution space. Cynthia talked about that. She shared some interesting stats. It's really growing fast. We have had some fairly large engagements which have come for our partners, which have come out of solution space. And so it's something that we are putting our weight behind. It not only allows our partners to connect directly with customers, but also it allows us to deliver higher and higher value to our customers. So just talking about solution space, it is part of AWS website, aws.amazon.com/solution space, if you want to go and look there. And it's got solutions across a number of categories. When we talk about solutions, and you see the term out there, customer-ready solutions, in solution space, it essentially means that you have put together a quick start, and we'll talk about quick starts, which is a separate program, but we'll leverage it here. You have put together a quick start, and then there is a consulting offer that goes along with it. Quick start is like a trial deployment, a quick gold standard trial deployment, even a one-click deployment in many cases. And then, as you know, when we're putting solutions together, and these are complex solutions and so on, oftentimes our customers need help. They want to expand the scope, or they kind of get stuck or something like that. And that is where we say that having a consulting offer along with it, maybe something, an easy way to shoe in and so on, goes a long way. Now, when I say consulting offer, if you're a technology partner out here, you might be thinking, hey, this is not for me. But mind you, a lot of technology partners have solutions as well. And what they do is they work with consulting partners. So it's almost like a three-way combination. And I'll talk about that as well later. It's a three-way combination where the technology partner, let's say an Informatica, puts together a solution, and the consulting partner then puts together the consulting offer. So the idea is that when a customer looks at a solution, they not only look at a technical deployment out there, but we also help them in the enterprise context to leverage that to the fullest, to kind of take it all the way to the end in terms of a large-scale production deployment if they wish so. So that's the concept of solution space. Let's talk about Quick Start, which is the component of solution space, but it is also a standalone program. Quick Starts are gold standard reference deployments of AWS. So if you are any partner, if you are a technology partner or a consulting partner, you can build a Quick Start and put it up there. We have about 125 Quick Starts now. And amazingly, they have been downloaded 1.4 million times in 2018. It just gives you the scale of where things are going with that. So Quick Starts, again, as I said, they're part of the AWS website. Our customers go there and they start they kind of deploy there. One of the interesting things, the reason why we are doing this, if you take a step back, is as you probably are known, Forrester published a report a little while ago, which talked about the fact that 50% of the buyers today complete their, almost all the buyers today complete 50% of their buying journey even before they contact any of us in this room. And the best way for us to be part of that buying journey is to help them is to kind of interject ourselves into their research process. Today, with AWS, it's very, very likely that a person who's looking at any kind of a solution along the different markets that we address would visit our website to try and say, hey, what does AWS have or AWS partners have in the problem area that I'm interested in? So what we are trying to do with Solution Space and Quick Start is actually give them an answer during that visit of theirs. Hey, you're thinking about a data lake. Here is, data lake solution that has been built. And by the way, here's a quick, deployment, one-click deployment. Why don't you try it out? What this allows you to do is, for our partner and for AWS, what this does is it makes us part of their consideration set. And because we're making it so easy to deploy, oftentimes than not, they actually click that button and go into a POC. So we're kind of trying to reduce that friction in the process of people experimenting with our solutions, with people, with our partners, reaching our customers and being able to show that value and winning that business. So all of it kind of aligns with that. I talked about this three-way collaboration. It is one of the big differentiating factors. We talked about innovation, we talked about the pace of services and features that we are releasing in the market and so on. But also, one of the key differentiators of AWS is the ecosystem, all of you sitting out here that we have the pleasure of working with. It is one of the largest ecosystems in the enterprise software space, both from a technology and a consulting perspective. And what we are trying to do is bring it together. The more we leverage our ecosystem, the more we cross-connect all of you into delivering or building value for our customers, the more competitive barriers we erect for others in the market. And this is our way of trying to promote that. We believe technology partners have a lot of strong technology, innovation, brand in the market. And we try to bring both technology partners and consulting partners and AWS together in a three-way collaboration to be able to build and deliver these sort of solutions. So here are some examples. If you go to Solution Space, you will see many examples. So what I want to leave you here in this particular program is, if you're a technology partner, if you're a consulting partner, there are ways for all of us to work together and build value for our customers. So this is something that we are doing it. We are putting a lot of weight behind this. In fact, many of us are gold on such fostering such collaborations. So we would like to see more of these happening. Okay, so we talked about Solution Space, we talked about Quick Starts, we talked about three-way collaborations. All of these and more come together in an overarching differentiation program at AWS. If you're not aware of it, it's the Competency Program. It is both for technology as well as consulting partners. And essentially what it does is, it's a high bar to get into a competency. But once you're in it, it signals our customers that these partners or this partner has been vetted by AWS at the highest level of putting together complex solutions and value for our customers. So that is what the competency program does. We have competency programs divided into workloads. So if you are working on any of those workloads, Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, if you are interested in building competency in industries because you believe you are stronger in maybe education, nonprofit, government, or any of those, you can actually be one of those competency partners as well. So if you go to a higher ed, maybe Stanford or something, I come from the Bay Area, sorry. If you go to Stanford and you're bidding for a project out there, and if you have an education competency from AWS, that gives you a leg up as compared to somebody else who probably doesn't have. So that is a signal that we send to market. And then the last one is competency by solution. So this is horizontal, as you can see, IoT, mobile. I'm part of I run the data analytics competency from a consulting perspective, and then the machine learning, networking, cloud management, and so on and so forth. So again, what this does is, when you come into this program, you kind of differentiate yourself from the customer perspective, but also more importantly, or equally importantly, when you look at AWS and us engaging with partners for newer programs or for complex engagement, and so on and so forth, our first stop is actually going to our competency partners. So that allows you to differentiate yourself within the AWS ecosystem as well. And then the last thing, which is all of this together when you're talking about solutions, when we're talking about any of these programs, we have created a segment group. The interesting facet of the segment group is when we think about solutions, when we look at solutions per se, they don't fall very cleanly into one service. They don't fall cleanly into one customer. They represent something of a higher value. So we went back and looked at what does it represent, and essentially we came out with the fact that Amazon actually, or AWS services multiple market segments. So we call them partner segments as part of the APN. We serve multiple partner segments. And the idea here is we look at the partner segment, for example, in the case of data analytics, which I belong to, and we look at what the customer problems are in that segment. We don't look at a single Redshift service or an EMR service. We don't look at an individual customer out there. We say what are the customer problems in that segment and how we can bring our partner ecosystem together and give them guidance to solve those customer problems. And by the very nature, when we talk about customer problems, they all relate back to solutions and innovation and how we can actually move forward and solve them. So if you're looking at starting on your differentiation journey, if you're looking at starting on your solution journey, I would highly encourage you to talk to your PDMs to connect you with the segment leads where you feel you likely belong or you like to explore, and then they can tell you more about what programs they're running and how they're running it and so on and so forth. So far, you kind of looked at the introduction, you looked at the market opportunity. You looked at a number of examples. You had partners talking about how they have used innovation to build new solutions, very cool ones, and so on. And you looked at some of the key tools and programs that we have available that you can start leveraging and meeting the right people and so on. Just want to leave you with a few key takeaways as you start and accelerate this journey. Cynthia talked about the genesis. As a customer-obsessed organization, you probably know this by now, we pride ourselves in that tenet. As a customer-obsessed organization, we are always looking at what is the customer problem that we can solve. We would highly encourage you to start thinking along those lines, and when you start thinking along those lines, you'll realize that you're not thinking about one service deployment or one small opportunity. You're thinking about something bigger. When you're thinking about something bigger, that naturally leads to transformational solutions. This is where you're addressing a customer's complex problem. You're looking at what's available from AWS, what's available from our technology partners, what's available from our consulting partners, and you're bringing it all together, and it delivers transformation. When you deliver transformation, it differentiates you. Differentiates you not only in the market, it differentiates you in the ecosystem, it differentiates you in the eyes of AWS as a partner, as our go-to partner for that particular problem, as our go-to partner for that segment, for that industry, and so on. And to allow that differentiation, to ensure that differentiation, you're able to differentiate yourself, you're able to run these programs and stuff, we have a number of tools and programs that we make available. I highlighted a few of them. We also have others. We're happy to talk to you. And the reason you're here in this room and listening to this is you want all of this to impact your top line and bottom line. And this is what we would want you to take away. We have a tremendous market opportunity as we are kind of going up higher and higher up in the stack. We have a lot of customer problems to solve. As we tell everyone, we have got the Lego pieces and we need builders to come and help us build solutions with those Lego pieces. Thank you.